Hey there, YouTube. Welcome to Big Mike Beard Wisdom. So today, I kind of want to talk about, timing for selling vehicles. And it's just one of those things where, depending on the time of year, is depending on what kind of offers you're going to get. So, are you going to get immediate offers where people can be like, I want to buy that right now? Or are you going to sit there for a couple weeks and be like, oh man, this thing's never going to go? And then you get the right person that all of a sudden contacts you. And we are so not talking about project vehicles or collector vehicles or backup project vehicles. What I'll talk about first is essentially, like right now, you can see the leaves are changing. It's late October, so winter's right around the corner. And up here in Minnesota, it's about time to be looking at for a four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive if you don't have one already. And it's one of those things where I've had this vehicle for years, but some people look to buy like a winter beater. That way they have it and then sell it in like the springtime. So having a good four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicle that you can sell can make you more money right around now as opposed to doing it in the springtime when everyone's just trying to get out of it. So little blemishes like say the headlights being not quite crystal clear, they need to be restored a little bit. Maybe if you've got say rust forming in different places, which up here in Minnesota, you're going to have rust. So some of that's going to be a little bit more forgiving if someone's just looking for that beater. Now, likewise, if you've got a really nice four-wheel drive and a really nice all-wheel drive vehicle, they might be willing to pay a little bit more right about now too, because they know that winter's coming. No one likes driving through a whole bunch of snow and sliding around and getting stuck. With all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, you have a little bit more confidence that you'll be able to go. So let's say right about now you need to sell something kind of like a Pontiac G8 GT, which is a V8 rear-wheel drive sedan, and a hoot. Rolling in the wintertime, you're not going to get a whole lot of offers for it because for a lot of people, maybe this is going to be their nice sports car or something like that. This is going to be their fun to drive car, their once in a while car, which means they're going to have to store it. So either they're going to have to store it in their garage, like what I do, or they're going to have to rent like a storage unit and throw it in there. So you can really expect to get beaten up on stuff like, say, a little bit of hazing on the headlights, not quite perfect paint or something. So they're going to be looking for whatever they can find to make it as cheap as possible because now they've got to put it in storage and spend a little bit extra money, but, they'll have it for next year. So really, the best time to sell something like this would be, say, in the springtime or the summer, where someone's not thinking about storage. They're just thinking, ooh, boy, this scoots. Now, let's say you've got a front-wheel drive car, which neither of these are. Essentially, those kind of handle wintertime relatively well. So they're not as good as all-wheel drive. They're definitely better than rear-wheel drive. So it's one of those situations where, depending on the model, maybe it sells perfectly fine all year round, and you'll get offers when you put it up for sale. And, of course, this is like my experience that I've noticed over the last, I guess 20 years of being a mechanic. So it's just one of those things where the last couple years have been a little unpredictable with some of like the new car shortages. So that shortage has made things really expensive. But I think right around now, used car prices and like the expected like seasons for when to sell a car and stuff like that, I think will be returning back to normal shortly. But there's a big like union strike stuff going on right now. How that's going to impact anything, I don't know. Could it mean more expensive cars down the future? Yeah, probably. I mean, how often does anything ever get cheaper? So if you're looking at selling a car, I would definitely sell, say, your SUVs and four-wheel drives and stuff like that, more late summer, rolling into fall, especially if they're all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. If they're just two-wheel drive, or they're like sports cars, I would definitely look more towards springtime for selling them. So if you're in a situation where you're in a pinch and you're like, hey, you know what, I need to get some cash, I would hold on to a sports car until, say, springtime, and hopefully sell it for a few thousand more than what you would do selling it now and really getting nitpicked on any kind of little issues you might have. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll check you next time. Oh man, someone needs to drive you and knock the rust off the rotors.